Hi everyone, welcome. What you see here is the assortment of food we've got planned to give to the outdoor worm bag today. It's a nice assortment of different types of fruits and veggies. And I've got some newspaper that I figured maybe we would deliver the food in little bundles of paper. And then that paper would be the bedding that would be accompanying the worms with today's feeding. So the bedding that I gave them last time was shredded paper cardboard from my wormery, and the previous check-in, the bedding that they received sort of even doubled as their food supply, because it was all the leaves that I trimmed off of a bunch of pepper plants and cucumber plants. So I had oh boy So I had delivered this little bundle of shredded paper cardboard. It was actually wrapped within this sheet of newspaper here. And my idea was to just leave it bundled, thinking that eventually it would absorb some moisture and become appealing for worms to make use of as supplementary bedding. And then afterwards it made me wonder, perhaps the stuff was just too dry to serve that purpose for the worms, and maybe it was just sitting here ignored for many days on end. So it didn't seem like the most well thought out plan, but whatever. The material in here is very nice. There's rain expected in a short while this afternoon, so perhaps the system will get a little bit more hydration. Normally I don't worry too much about hydration. I just let whatever rain falls fall. And that's pretty much the moisture content that the system receives. And naturally, whatever moisture content comes in with the foods that they're receiving. And I'm even questioning whether all of this newspaper that I'm adding with today's feeding is even necessary. Perhaps instead of adding like 5 sheets of this stuff, which was my original game plan, perhaps we would just go with a couple, perhaps 3 instead of 5. Because, I don't know. To me, it just seems like there's a whole lot of leftover bedding material down here in the feeding zone. And since I really wanted to just use the paper as sort of a little encapsulating material for the foods, I don't think I need more than a third one with which we can package up the entirety of what we came out here with for them, because that's pretty much it right there. Should be a pretty nice feeding that these wormies should appreciate. A whole bunch of assorted fruits and veggies from my freezer, which will luckily emit moisture as they thaw, neatly dampening all this paper that was used to wrap them. And I think that'll be sufficient. They do always say you can't go overboard with too much bedding in your worm bins, but today it just seemed like those 3 pieces of paper would be enough. Even though we could have gone bigger, we're gonna go with that. So that's it for the feeding, everybody. Let's is it possible that we're done already? This could potentially become one of my very shortest ever worm farming videos if that's the case. But I really didn't want to spend a lot of time on this either. To me, it just seemed like after 13 days they were probably due, and since the rain was coming soon, I figured maybe we would just sneak in here really quick and give them a nice little meal. After 13 days, it seems like they were probably ready, and I think they were. They seemed to do away with whatever was down in there. I found all the shredded paper, which was kind of expected to be in here as leftovers from the last time. But as far as any sort of food scraps, I don't think I saw anything that resembled leftovers from the last feeding, so I think they were probably ready. But you know what? Since I do have these 2 pieces of paper here, perhaps we could just use them for fun, because one thing we do in a lot of my systems down in my wormery, but we never do out here, is provide sort of a top covering. And we've got our protective top covering here, our plywood, but why don't we just leave those couple sheets out there for worms to make use of should they wish to. And my hope is that the moisture recirculating off those frozen foods as they thaw comes up and bounces off this plywood, soaking that wood a little bit. I mean, soaking those sheets of paper beneath it, possibly making it into something that the worms could even nibble on a little bit. So that's a nice quick little check-in with the outdoor worm bag version 6.0. Today at 105 days, we missed the 100th day in service milestone, so happy 100 days in service. And that was now feeding number 9 after 13 days. So that's it for the video, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, please don't forget to leave me a quick thumbs up before you go. That's always really appreciated. And if you haven't done so already, please also consider subscribing to the channel. That's very much appreciated as well. All right, everyone, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye now.